The squad making sure we all win. Smoke a lot radio, we going all in. Zilla, I'm the host with the most smoke. Rolling up the most dope. Kato got the most jokes. Simone Taylor keep it sexy for the grown folks. I'm OG, tone low, bouncing on them gold spokes. Smoke, we the #1 podcast. Some other shows, all trash. Amber Rose, all ass. Broadcasting live from the coast. Sick committee with the jokes. Come and get your ass broke.
This goddamn dream team in the West Coast, man. How did you even come up with the idea, bro?
You know, The Wire that was on HBO? I was looking at The Wire. I'm a real big fan of like crime stuff. I was looking at The Wire and American Greed and stuff, right? And so I was sitting over there with Glasses. Glasses Malone was over in my living room. You know, a lot of people don't know I manage him.
Okay, shameless plug. Shout out Glasses.
Yeah, no, but you know, he a part of the thing. So I was sitting in the living room with him and I said, man, what if I had a show, man, where I had a real dude. I'm talking about a dude that was really with the bullshit on the show. I had a dude that was a crooked cop, and I had a dude that was like a so-called
crooked cop or just an ex-cop?
You know, an ex-cop with maybe some things in him. Not saying that my man is crooked or nothing like that, but that's what I was thinking at the time. That's before I met him. That's before now keep in mind, this is before I met him. This is before I met him. I didn't even, I didn't know how I was gonna wind up. I didn't know what it was gonna be. So this ain't, don't try to make this no shit about like Steele up there taking shots at Regs. You know, it ain't no shit like that. I didn't even know Regs then.
Right.
But I said, it would be an interesting dynamic, man. So,
man, toast, man, right quick, man. Toast, man. Salute the Gangster Chronicles.
Salute.
Oh my mama! Congratulations, my brother.
I actually got at Reggie Wright and said, hey man, I'm starting this show, the Gangster Chronicles, man. I was hitting him to get in touch with James, but I wanted him on there too. Right. You know what I mean? So we did the first few episodes on our own. It was actually the original Gangster Chronicles was me, Reggie, and James.
I never knew that.
Yeah, the original Gangster Chronicles was me, Reggie, and James. That's why it was so easy for me to, go sit back and act share because it was like, because I had a bunch of stuff going on. I thought I was gonna move to Atlanta at the time, and plus I'm, trying to expand on the network. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just step back and be.
Plug. Digital Soapbox Network.
I'm gonna step back and just, oversee some stuff. Right. But it wound up working. Now, I remember one day we was in the parking lot because I used to be really worried about James. Right. Because I knew all this stuff was new for him. And you always gonna have trolls. You gonna have a motherfucker, I don't care who you is in the comments talking shit, you know what I mean? Right. I used to always be on James and I told him, I said, bro, we got something special. If you give me a year and just listen to everything I say, not that I know everything, but I done been close a couple of times. It's like this ain't the first rodeo. I done been close a couple of times. So
the rim.
Yeah, so I was like, you know what, I gotta keep this stuff together because I'd already start seeing little shit because when the show turns successful, the biggest thing, man, to manage is people's ego.
Oh my God.
It's people's ego because
man. Say it louder for the people that didn't hear in the back.
You really have to manage people's ego, man, because stuff start getting cracking. Now keep in mind that dollar ain't been made the first yet, but people start noticing shit and you start getting people talking about you. Everybody start thinking about it as them, but no, it's very much a team thing. It's like this show, like to be honest with you, the show revolves around James. And that's listen, James, let me finish talking, bro. And that's not no knock against nobody else, man. But Destiny's Child got to get a Beyonce in order to blow up. You know what I'm saying? Right. Death Row had to have a Snoop Dogg, and everybody else's story just kind of flows in with it, right? Nobody else has a story like that, right? So we have to keep it interesting. Everybody has their job and a particular thing that they do, but it is what it is. So I told him, man, I said, man, if we be diligent with this, and there had been people from research starting to call, like, a cat hit us from Spotify before. It was, I got that one phone call. You get the A&Rs call your phone. Some dude with Spotify hit us, asked about it. Never heard nothing else from that motherfucker again. Shout out to him. But then there was the people up there, they tried to have me and James go up there. Then they came to me. And that's the thing. Sometimes, man, when you're a black executive, people think you just go fall for a check all the time. And it's like, we went up and was talking to these one people. I ain't gonna mention their names or nothing, but it was the worst deal I ever fucking seen in my life. It was like, they was talking about they want to do this. And I'm like, okay, y'all gonna give us, they was talking about giving James like $30,000. They was talking about giving me 60 or some shit like that. I said, first of all, we a team and we don't work like that. I said, it gotta be even Steven. That's how we work. I mean? I never came in with them guys. It was like, fuck with the contract, say we going even Steven, this gonna be fair for
Bust it
everybody.
down the
You know what I'm saying? We gonna bust it down the middle. And so the contract was so bad though, dog, I was like, you know what, man, I don't even think James, this is probably his first time hearing about it, but it was so bad, it was one of them deals to where he was at the time, he probably would have been happy at first, you know, to just go do the shit, but then he would have been mad later on. Because it wouldn't have been, they'd have been out there blowing this shit up and there wouldn't have been no more money coming in. It would have been like, man, you know what?
30,000, that's it.
That's it. It's like whatever you get. It's pretty much a work for hire. And I'm like, man, me and this dude, we don't sit up here and bust our ass on this shit, man. We just ain't gonna give it away to nobody. So we chilling, man. Glass has been knowing Charlamagne, man, since like Charlamagne was doing radio in South Carolina, since he was like a long time, right? So he got a Glasses about doing a podcast because Glasses had got good like comments on
the one when he did the pop. The pop.
Yeah, the 2x, yeah, he got a lot of stuff.
Did numbers,
he did numbers, did a lot of numbers. So it's like they was getting at him for that. Then he told me, but Glasses had told me way before that thing happened. He said, man, Charlotte fuck with y'all show. And I was like, man, for real? You know, you got the wild, you get jaded at that shit, nigga, like your shit cool, I appreciate it, but we gotta keep working. You know, it's cool, he like the show and everything. So we keep going, then one day I get a text from this number, he's like, yo, King, I fuck with y'all show. And I'm like, who is this? He's like, it's Charlamagne. He's like, man, pick up your phone in 5 minutes. And I was like, man, stop playing, nigga. This ain't no fucking Charlamagne, you know what I mean? Right, yeah, I'm thinking this a nigga, you know, somebody playing this shit, you know?
This shit, right.
So he hit me, man, and we get on the phone and talk. He just like a regular dude, man. We sitting up there chopping it up, man, and he like telling me about James and this, and he don't did his research, right?
Right.
So we chopping it up and everything, and you know how somebody beating around the bush or something? And I was like this, and I was like, he's like, man, you know what? I just think that this, you know, I'm like, I finally told him, man, go ahead and spit it out, my nigga. I got thick skin, you know what I mean? I've been doing this shit a long time. He said, man, I think y'all need one more person on the show. And at this point, you know how the West Coast is real political. I was hoping he didn't say somebody fucked up. Like if he just said somebody that James don't like, I'd have been like, no, that shit ain't gonna work.
Right.
And I was always taught in this business, you always follow the money. You gotta be flexible.
Right.
You gotta be flexible. And you know, he wasn't here. He said, man, I listened to MC8 on y'all's show and I listened to him on Vlad. And I really like that dude. I think because he don't over talk the situation. And so he wanted a certain type of personality to come in. And he really felt like that would just like, you know, it would complete the trio, you know what I'm saying? He was like, and he just kept reiterating, y'all do a great job together, but you know, I said, bro, that's not enough. And I said, James, cool with that, I'm cool with that. Then he had talked to our business managers, you know, Stan Shepard, and he was just kind of telling him some stuff I won't even, you know, go into on here, but he was just telling them some stuff, and he was like, man, it pretty much went like this, man. Charlamagne asked me one day, him and the wheel dude called me, and this one it was the time for the negotiation. They asked me, they said, man, what's important to you? And I said, man, really ownership. I said, man, it ain't just me. I said, I gotta make sure that James' grandkids is, you know, and my children able to, you know, benefit off of this down the line. I said, you know, said, so
absolutely.
It wound up being real good, man. And I remember telling James, man, because you know, waiting for the corporate to do paperwork is like waiting on a baby.
Right, of course.
So it's like, I'm telling James is like, he called me sometimes like, man, is this real? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, James, we good.
On my mind.